Hey y'all, this is Spiritual Whistleblower here. This is one of my most serious videos. And I honestly need you to take this video extremely serious, like a life or death situation, especially if you were raised by an abusive, narcissistic parent. And not only that, I want you to spread and share this video with as many people. If you know somebody who's been abused and they're struggling with cutting off their toxic parents, this video may save their lives. I've made thousands and thousands of videos on narcissistic abuse when it comes to parents. This, I feel, is probably one of my top 3 serious videos. Okay, thoroughly listen to this video and get on top of your research when you get done using this video. Because it could save your life, your finances, and protect you in the future. I'm giving away a lot of free game in this video. We have a new president in office that is rearranging everything. He's fucking shit up for all of us. He's a baby boomer. If you were raised by a baby boomer like I was, he's on the side of the baby boomers, honey. He thinks and acts like your toxic, abusive mother and father do. All right, so let's talk about it. As of recently, our newly elected president, the Cheeto man, the orange man, Mr. Trump, I refuse to call him president, has threatened to take away Medicaid. Okay? What does this mean? It means a lot of things. It means that, and also too with RFK proposing to take away the medications for people that have mental illness, ADHD medication, people with bipolar, and send them off to a wellness farm. Oh, baby, we're going to see an increase in violence in this country. We're going to see an increase in deaths. You take Medicaid pays for damn near everything. Community health care, the elderly people in nursing homes that need Medicaid fucking damn near pays for every fucking health issue, not life insurance, medical insurance. Our country desperately depends on Medicaid. The young, our babies, our children. Think about the children that need special services, special needs. Our children that need therapy, autism, ADHD, cerebral palsy. Medicaid, yeah. The funding for all those services, elderly people, disabled people. Yeah, if he takes away Medicaid, what do you think's going to fucking happen? He don't give a fuck. See, this is the thing. The people that voted that motherfucker in, they're about to fuck around and find out that he never cared about his voters. He going to throw all of them underneath the bus. They're going to suffer too when they take Medicaid away. But where am I going with this in the video, and how will it apply to you in your relationship with your abusive, narcissistic mother and father? Have you heard of what the filial law is? If you don't know what a filial law is, again, when this video ends, I want you to do a chronic Google search. Filial is spelled F-I-L-I-A-L, filial law. So you're going to type the state that you live in, and you're going to also type filial law. And what's going to come up is going to explain to you that depending on what state you live in, and only 30 states enforce the filial laws. Depending on what state you live in, you may be financially responsible to take care of your elderly parents. Once they can no longer afford to live on their own, they cannot afford their medical bills, if they're living in nursing homes, what have you, baby, that means you're going to have to clear out your room. Maybe your office space, your garage space, your den, that extra space, maybe the basement. You're going to have to clear out a room in your home and convert that room into a bedroom and move your fucking elderly parent into the house. Your house where you motherfucking pay bills. Yes, the very same parent that fucking abused you, whether that's verbally, emotionally, financially, physically abused you, bruised you up, beat the fuck out of you, sexually molested you. Yeah, you're going to have to move that motherfucking parent that abused you your entire life into your fucking home. Why? Because the government and the state that you live in said you have to by law. By law, the government is going to force you to take care of the motherfucker that abused you in your childhood. Now, what are you going to do about that? Do you think that's fair? Remember, Donald Trump is a baby boomer. I totally understand, I get it. That's why, America is fucked up. That's why I feel the baby boomer generation is the most fucked up, emotionally immature fucking generation there is. Yeah, we could talk about the youth today. Our millennials, Gen Z, Gen X is fucked up even. None of them are more fucked up than the baby boom. I can't stand fucking baby boomers. They're the ones right now, they're working jobs, they won't retire. They will be retiring in the years to come. And some of them will refuse that. They supposed to retire and they won't retire. They're the ones competing with younger people because they're so intimidated and jealous. They won't retire. They won't quit their jobs because they're in competition with the younger people, the more qualified younger people. They're the ones in government, the politicians that won't retire. They're still in office enforcing these laws that fuck us all up. The baby boomer generation gotta fucking go. I can't wait till they fucking are extinct. But the next couple of years, 64, right? Let me tell y'all something. Google your state that you live in and filial law. The filial laws enforce you to take care of your parents financially when they can't do it anymore. So this is where I get on a lot of y'all. Y'all think I be on this fucking YouTube channel, on social media, I be hooping and hollering, I'm unhinged, I'm crazy, I be going off. No, I don't be talking just to hear myself fucking talk. I can't fucking stand my parents. And I don't give a fuck. I will say it 1,000,000 times. I will verbalize it. I will document it. I've written books. My abuse that I have suffered at the hands of my mother and father is well documented. They can't lie. They can't sue me for defamation if they tried, if they wanted to. It's well documented. And I did that shit on purpose. It took a lot of courage for me to do it, but I'm glad I did it. You want to know why? Because I dared the state and I dared the government to even try to force me to take care of either one of them. If I'm put in a position where I'm challenged by the law, the government, to take care of my parents, I'm going to hire me a top of the line lawyer that practices elder law. Listen to the free game I'm about to give y'all. You're going to have to hire a lawyer that specializes in elder law. That's laws that are governed laws that are governed that affect elderly people. Find a lawyer that specializes in that type of law, specifically that deals with the laws governing elderly people. And you're going to get this lawyer to fight your case for you. You're going to have to make a case towards the state you live in. If your parents live in the same state as you, even if they don't live in the same state as you, still be prepared legally to cover your ass. Your lawyer is going to have to fight for your defense on why you should not be financially appointed to take care of your abusive parent. You're going to have to prove that you were abused and neglected. You're going to have to show, with receipts, documentation, that your parents are horrible parents. They were unfit to take care of you. They should have been jailed, put in fucking jail for the shit they did to you. And you should be exempt. Now, it'd be different if your parents were millionaires and they could afford their own health care. That's one thing. And it'd be another thing if you could sue them, because different states have it where you can sue your parents in civil court. If you were molested and you can prove it, the judge can award you a monetary judgment through civil court for the abuse and trauma and sexual molestation that you suffered. There's a time limit in every state that you have to file. I would have been filed against my mother's husband, her second husband. His name is Charles Davis, by the way, with his nasty, dirty, funky pedophile ass. I would have sued the nigga, but he's broke. He has no money. That's why I didn't bring civil charges against that nigga. But either way, criminal charges, I drove my ass to Trenton, New Jersey. This was over 2 years ago. I drove my ass to Trenton, New Jersey. Yes, I did. And I filed criminal charges. The detectives, they took me into this room and they sat me down. They recorded what my story. I said, when he did this to me, we were living at 842 Lamberton Street. He did it multiple times. That's recorded right now. I went to the not the police, detectives. Detectives, I'm not playing. I'm not a fucking liar. This is the same goddamn story I've been telling for the last 40 years, the last 20, 25 years. I told the same story in high school when my teachers and my guidance counselor pulled me out of the classroom and said, "Who cut your face open?" I said, "My mother did this to me with a curling iron. She slashed my face open." My teachers and my guidance counselor said, "Come into the office, sit down. We need to know what your mother did." And for the first time, that was my senior year in high school, I was able to tell somebody, not just my mother, but her husband sexually molested me. And they reported this to the Department of Social Services of Richland County, Columbia, South Carolina. And they opened up an investigation on my mother. And they kept the investigation open for over a year. They was on her ass. They couldn't investigate him because he was locked up in prison up north in New York. I believe it was Buffalo. I don't know where he was. He was out of state up north. So they could not complete the investigation on him, but they stayed on her ass. And thank God I told on them because my guidance counselors and teachers, they filed a report. So I have the report in my school archives. My guidance counselor documented it. They had to. They had to make a report on everything, documented evidence. And not only did my guidance counselors and teachers file a report, the Child Abuse Department of Richland County, they have a separate filing process. And because of that, a couple years ago, I was able to drive down to Columbia, South Carolina and request a copy. It's still on file in Columbia, South Carolina. When I tell y'all to document everything, when you're dealing with a narcissist, the only way that you're going to have a case in court is with evidence. The judge does not want to hear the he say, she say. My mother did this, my mother did that. No. You have to come with your receipts and your documentation. What my mother did to me and her husband is documented because I had the courage to speak up as a young child. 14, what was I? 16, 17, in my senior year of high school, I told on both of them. I was terrified, but I did it. And now it's documented. So now I can use that in the court of law to prove that my mother and her second husband and my father abandoned his shit. He jumped ship. He didn't file for fucking custody. He didn't file for joint custody. He didn't want to pay fucking child support. He walked away. And he did him. He went to Florida and he focused on himself. He didn't give a fuck about me, my brother and sister. He left us with my mother. And the bitch abused us. She was frustrated at him. So she bullied me and my brother. She didn't bully my sister. She bullied me and my brother. We were fucking severely abused by that bitch. So I kept the documentation. I have it with me today. I went to Trenton, New Jersey. That's documented. And I made my case. I filed criminal charges against the nigga since my mother was such a pussy ass bitch and she wouldn't do it for me. I filed criminal charges. It's there on file in Trenton, New Jersey. And the only reason they could not move forward, when I say they, Mercer County, the prosecutor, they called me personally. They said, "Ma'am, we would take on this case. The only reason we cannot pursue criminal charges against this man is because the statute of limitations in New Jersey, it stops at 1995-96. When he touched and molested me, it happened in the early 90s, making me ineligible to pursue, go after him. But I filed criminal charges any goddamn way. This is not a game to me. That man did that to me while he lied through his teeth, and my mother protected him. So documentation is what's going to save you, and a good lawyer. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all are scared. Y'all are adults, and a lot of y'all won't stand up to your parents. A lot of y'all got your parents stalking you, and you won't call the cops on them and get a restraining order. That's documented evidence. You let your parents get away with a lot of shit. But what are you going to do when the government tells you they got to move into your house because there's no more Medicaid? We're snatching all these benefits away. Now, guess what? You're going to be responsible for the financial. You're going to have to pay the medical bills. You're going to have to pay for their food. Everything, their welfare, everything is going to fall on your shoulders. You have to clear space in your house. You're barely making it by. You're barely paying rent. You barely can afford groceries. You got children to take care of. How are you going to take care of your abusive parents? Are you prepared when the government forces you to do that shit? Or are you going to have your documentation together to defend and cover your tail and say, my siblings got to do it? Not here. Not here. There is a long history of abuse, and I can prove it. Get on y'all shit right now. Cover your tail right now. Call up a lawyer that specializes in elderly abuse. Get your documents. See, my mother thinks she's smart. She's fucking dumb. Because a couple years ago, when she tried to take me to court, she filed fake charges. She claimed that she's terrified of me and she's scared of me, harming her, and actually took me to court. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go drive down to New Jersey. I'm going to ask them to print up a copy of the transcript. Everything that took place in court is documented. That's why they record everything in court. You can get a transcript. You have to pay some money and have the court print up a copy of the transcript of everything that took place in that courtroom. And I'm going to use that. My mother's terrified of me. She tried to get a restraining order. That's another reason why I should not be left alone with her to take care of her as an elderly woman. I don't care how sick she gets. She claims I'm a threat to her. I'm using every documented piece of evidence, and I'm going to fight like hell. I wish she would try that shit with me. I will not be responsible for the person that set me up to get sexually molested, the person who has repeatedly physically abused me, scarred my face, fat shamed me, and I got witnesses. And if my brother is smart, my baby brother, who he was abused as well, if he's smart, he need to get his head together and get with me so he can cover his ass too. My sister should be fucking responsible to take care of that bitch. Since she loves my sister and praises my sister so much, let my sister come out her fucking pockets. Let my sister clear out a bedroom and my mother move in with her. All the responsibility should fall on the child that your parents favorited. Y'all get prepared, because we got a dictator in office and he's about to fuck shit up over the next 4 years. I love y'all, and I want y'all to be smart and move smart. It's not fair. You should not be responsible to take care of the motherfucker that abused you your entire life. Get on your shit, protect yourself, spread this video. Spread this video, because I want people to stop suffering. The baby boomer generation has done so much damage to their children, and they still want us to suffer even when they become elderly adults. That's still abuse. This is all financial abuse. And I'm not here for it. Let me cool off, y'all, because I'm trembling here. I'm trembling making this video. And this motherfucker pulls Medicaid, all hell's going to break loose. Get on y'all shit. Thank me later.